If you're thinking about grabbing the Moza R16 wheelbase for your sim racing setup, stop right there, because I've got some things to reveal that might just change your mind. This direct drive wheelbase promises 16 Nm of torque and high-fidelity force feedback, but here's what surprised me. Despite the solid specs, it comes with some serious flaws that could ruin your racing experience. You expect power and precision, right? Well, the Moza R16 delivers power, but not always precision or reliability. So, is this the wheelbase worthy of your hard-earned $853, or is it a gamble you shouldn't take? Stick around because I'm diving deep into the good, the bad, and the ugly of this mysterious racing wheelbase. And no, I'm not just throwing shade. I'm here to help you make the most informed choice possible. Let's start with who should even consider the Moza R16 wheelbase. If you're a serious sim racer aiming for that direct drive experience, but are budget conscious compared to some premium brands, then maybe this little beast caught your eye. It's designed for enthusiasts wanting high torque feedback without breaking the bank on massive setups like Fanatic or Simucube. But if you're a casual player who just wants a plug-and-play solution with rock-solid reliability and minimal setup headaches, this might get frustrating fast. Moza's entry into the direct drive market is ambitious, offering a wheelbase with a claimed peak torque of 16 Newton meters, enough to give you a real feel for every turn and bump on the track. But torque isn't everything. So where do you start when unboxing this $852 RS031 wheelbase? The build quality looks promising at first glance: solid metal housing, a decent weight to it, and a minimalist design that's sleek but not flashy. It pairs well with Moza's own steering wheels or popular standards using a quick release, which is a big plus if you already own compatible gear. Setup, however, can be a mixed bag. The software ecosystem is, let's say, an adventure. The drivers need frequent updates and can occasionally drop out mid-race, leading to disconnections or sudden loss of force feedback, right when you're pushing the car to its limits. It's a bit like dating: great potential but sometimes leaves you hanging. Users have reported calibration issues and occasional jittery feedback that ruins immersion, which is a big no-no when you crave precision. Here comes a funny bit. Trying to set up the Moza R16 is like trying to assemble flat-pack furniture without the manual. Sure, you might get there eventually, but you'll definitely want to drink some coffee and scream a little along the way. And speaking of screaming, the motor noise is another surprise. While direct drive wheels are known to hum a bit, the R16 can get loud enough to make your dog stare at you funny mid-race. Not exactly immersive racing soundtrack material if you ask me. But hey, it's not all doom and gloom. The force feedback strength and detail can be impressive once you get the calibration right, with those full 16 Newton meters delivering punchy, tactile feedback that rivals much more expensive wheelbases. So if you're willing to troubleshoot and deal with occasional quirks, the Moza R16 can actually give you a taste of that raw, arcade-to-real racing feel. On the flip side, it's also a bit more sensitive about installation. Loosen a screw or misalign the pedal inputs, and you might find your racing dreams cut short by technical glitches. Let's rehook here. Are you okay with a wheelbase that demands patience and frequent updates if it means getting nearly flagship-level torque for less money? Or do you value seamless plug-and-play functionality more? Because the Moza R16 sits right at this tricky crossroads, and knowing where you stand will save you a ton of frustration. Now, let me tell you about the software and support. Moza still feels like they're finding their feet. Customer support is decent but not outstanding. They respond but sometimes leave customers waiting on critical fixes, kind of like a pit stop that overshoots a bit. Now, imagine this. You're deep in a race, chasing your best lap time, and suddenly your wheelbase drops force feedback or freezes. It's happened to quite a few users, transforming a thrilling sim session into a frustrating pause. Consistency is king in racing sims, and this inconsistency is a deal breaker for many. But if you decide to live on the edge with the R16, you get a wheelbase that's mechanically robust with smooth torque delivery and great sensor accuracy, thanks to its Moza magnetic encoder. That encoder isn't just for marketing. It reduces latency and improves precision, which real racers will appreciate. Here comes joke number 2. Why did the sim racer bring a calendar to the track? To keep track of all the Moza software updates. Yes, the updates are frequent enough to become a part of your sim racing routine. It's almost like buying a high-maintenance car. You get more power but have to invest time keeping it in shape. Next, let's talk compatibility, because this product isn't a one-size-fits-all device. The Moza R16 plays nicely with major sim racing titles like Assetto Corsa, iRacing, and R-Factor 2, delivering those detailed feedback nuances that hardcore racers crave. But setting it up with third-party pedals or aftermarket accessories sometimes requires extra tinkering, a frustrating point if you're not tech-savvy. If you're into mixing and matching gear, this might cost you more time than you bargained for. How about reliability over time? Reviews and user forums paint a mixed picture. Some racers rave about months of rock-solid performance. Others hit early hardware hiccups like overheating or sudden disconnections. In a sim racing wheelbase, reliability isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Yet with Moza, it feels like you're playing a bit of Russian roulette with your race sessions. And nobody signed up for that. Unless you're into adrenaline, in which case, hey, more power to you. Here's a good question to think about. Would you prefer a slightly less powerful wheelbase that just works flawlessly, or a more powerful one that demands your time and patience? Because the Moza R16 makes you choose. Now, let's address the elephant in the room: price. At nearly $853, it's no small investment. Compared to the top-end Simucube 2 or Fanatec DD1, it's cheaper, but those premium marks usually come with better support and stability. Is the savings worth the trade-off? For budget-conscious enthusiasts willing to troubleshoot, it can be. For anyone expecting a seamless pro-level experience out of the box, probably not. And here's joke number 3. What do you call a sim racer without force feedback? A very bored race car driver. So force feedback matters, and the R16 delivers it with gusto when it works. How does Moza remedy the teething problems? Firmware updates are rolling out regularly, and the community is growing, sharing tips and workarounds. Moza's approach feels like a work in progress, which means your experience might improve over time. But the waiting game can test your patience if you're eager to start racing right away. To sum it all up, the Moza R16 wheelbase is a fascinating entry into direct drive sim racing at a comparatively affordable price. It offers strong torque, good build quality, and promising features like the magnetic encoder for precision feedback. However, it is held back by reliability issues, rough software, and sometimes noisy operation. It's not for the faint-hearted or casual sim racers, but if you love to tinker and want powerful force feedback at a modest price, this wheelbase could be your ticket. And finally, joke number 4. Why did the Moza wheelbase go to therapy? Because it couldn't handle the pressure. But with you behind the wheel, it might just snap back into shape. If you're ready to take the plunge with the Moza R16 and don't mind a bit of setup hustle in exchange for solid torque and immersive feedback, then go check the link in the description for the best price on Amazon. It could be the perfect addition to your sim racing rig. But if you want something that just works, maybe keep searching, or wait until Moza irons out the kinks. Either way, thanks for watching and safe racing out there.